Well, a pleasure to have you on with us for the Portuguese program, Gente Nossa, that I've hosted for 33 years.
Wonderful.
33 years. And thank you so much. Today is the opening of, or reopening of, or moving to a stage, the red stage up in Vaughan. Can you give me a little bit of information about what are the numbers today in Vaughan for COVID-19?
Well, we're over, in the York region, we're over 100. But I do think that the move to the red zone is very important for a couple of reasons. First of all, you don't want to get people to fall into a false sense of security and start believing that everything is back to normal, because it is not. On the other hand, you also don't want people to feel hopeless and helpless and think that there's no progress being made in COVID-19. And I do think that the red zone represents hope for many people who have witnessed COVID-19 really bring the global economy and society to its knees. This is a very good sign. It means that our medical officer of health, Dr. Kurji, believes that we're heading in the right direction. And I think it's very important to underline that we are heading in the right direction, that all the great work that citizens of Vaughan and the citizens of York region, and indeed the GTA, have participated in throughout the global pandemic is bearing fruit. And that's fundamental, because the psychology of COVID-19 is often understated. But I do think it's an important part of the global pandemic. The impact that it's had on people has been quite dramatic.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Now, there is every region has been in charge of their own health decisions. What is it that York, and where Vaughan is included, has done that Toronto maybe has not done? Because your numbers are quite low compared to us.
Yes, and I do think that education, enforcement, and being very present in the community is extremely important. But I do want to say that overall, governments have done a great job in educating people. That doesn't mean that there have not been problems. Of course, it's not been perfect. But overall, Canadians are well educated in the area of COVID-19. As a matter of fact, I've been in public life for over 30 years, and I can't remember a single issue that has been given all this attention and all this information to the Canadian public. Mm-hmm. So to me, overall, I do believe that governments have done what they're supposed to do. And I must say, I want to pay tribute really to Canadians in general, because the vast majority have followed the rules, the protocols, the regulations of COVID-19, and have really been exceptional citizens. And here in the city of Vaughan, I can tell you that the citizens here in the city of Vaughan have followed the rules. We, of course, hear about people that don't follow the rules, and the media justifiably makes that available to people because you want to show that is something that it's not supposed to be done. But overall, the vast majority of people that you never hear about are the ones that are following the rules and doing the best they can to defeat COVID-19.
Mm-hmm. Vaughan is just the city above Toronto, let's just say that, our closest neighbor to the north. How are you going to stop region hopping? And what do you say to those that are planning on going to visit the family that live in Vaughan, or those that or go to a restaurant for breakfast, lunch, or dinner? What is your message to them?
Well, look, the Greater Toronto Area, we are one community essentially, and we benefit from the risks and opportunities that exist here in our common citizenship. And I must say that we're certainly not going to put up borders and barriers, but I do say that there's a stay-home order in Peel and there's a stay-home order in Toronto, and I think people ought to follow those rules. But there are many people from the city of Toronto and the region of Peel that actually work in the city of Vaughan. And we're not here to prohibit the travel to and fro when people are earning a living and or accessing essential services. It all comes down to one thing, which is the real weapon we have here against COVID-19. It's called personal responsibility. Absolutely. It's called common sense and intelligence. And we have plenty of both here in the GTA.
Mutations. What are the main industries that you have in Vaughan that people from Toronto would drive to for work?
Well, we have a very strong manufacturing base. We have 20,000 small businesses that create over 235,000 jobs. So we are punching way above our weight, which means that we are net importers of jobs, which means people from outside of our region come and work here in the city. And it's been like this for decades. And COVID-19 on the economic side has not stopped that on the manufacturing sector or construction and development. As you know, they are exempt from COVID-19 regulations. And so I think that we need each other's labor force. And as I must tell you, obviously, there are people from the region of York and the city of Vaughan who work in Toronto as well. So this GTA is very much an integrated economy, an integrated community. And I know that the citizens of Toronto and Peel will respect the rules of COVID-19. And that is why I'm very confident that our move to the red zone will go well.
What do you feel about the rollout of the vaccinations, of the vaccines in Ontario? Can I get your opinion on that?
Well, the rollout, I mean, look, you could only roll out the vaccine that you receive. Right. And that is fundamental. I mean, we need to understand that. We can't give vaccine that we don't have. And so I think that we're well equipped. I know that my municipality and my region here in York Region and the city of Vaughan, we already have in place areas where the vaccinations will take place. We continue to train people to make sure that it's administered properly. But people have to understand the vaccine, as in reference to obtaining it, as a federal jurisdiction, the distribution as well. And everybody has to understand the role of each level of government. And the best thing we could do at each level is to do our very best. And so when the province of Ontario says that they don't have enough vaccine, perhaps the federal government must find ways to access more vaccine. And I know that, our leader in Ottawa, Trudeau, and Premier Ford get up every morning trying to figure out how to do this better and how to do it quicker, because we all collectively, as a society, benefit from vaccinating people as quickly as possible. And so to me, I do think that governments are trying to do the very best. And the biggest partners we have, of course, are individual Canadians who are doing their part to bring about positive change to the global COVID-19 crisis.
Well, now that you have more options after 2 months of being closed down, what is it that you personally are going to do that you haven't done in 2 months?
Well, I was just looking at the video here. Perhaps I'd get a haircut. But I do want to say that for me, more than what I'm going to do is what, I'm really feeling good about some of particularly the small businesses that get to reopen, even though they can't fully reopen per se. But it's a step in the right direction. And I can tell you, during times like this, every ounce of positive news is good news for people.
Great. Well, thank you so much for making the time to be here with us for the first time in the Portuguese program. I know we know each other from many years ago, but I definitely appreciate you doing that, and we'll be in touch really soon. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. Stay safe.
You
Be
too.
well.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.